Well, hello, and it is a lovely Wednesday afternoon so far, and it is time to do some video games. There we go. And back over to the correct layout. And there we are! Now I just turn the sound on, adjust my volume slightly, and we are ready to go to knock out these daily challenges. So we got target and send enemies to attackers 10 times, stomp on 3 enemies continuously, although I think consecutively would probably be more accurate. I don't know, just kind of doesn't sit right with me that they use that particular word there. And collect 500 coins in 35 player battle. Well, as long as nothing goes horribly wrong, I'll be able to knock all 3 of those out in a single match, actually. So let's go ahead and start this up. Yeah, I'll throw our 6-3 in, just because it's fun. Holding down the L button and pressing A while selecting the course to make sure I get my Luigi going on. Just get everything comfy here. And then we wait. Coffee. Looks like we didn't have any dropouts at the start. Got all 35 players in the game, so that's good. It's gonna follow a pretty standard vanilla opening. Phase 1, you gotta work on building up time and coins. Although once your time is full, you can focus more on building up the coins. Like, for example, you end up at the warp zone and you see the 3 different levels that you have available to you to go to next. If your time is full, you want to focus on going to the levels where you can get as many coins as possible. But in situations where your time is a bit on the low side, you might choose to go to a different level. Nasty staircase. Bounce. It's not a problem though, because you got another power-up right here. You can't think of a better place to lose a power-up than right when you're about to get another power-up. But yeah, there's a number of levels that have opportunities right at the start to get a very good shell combo going on. So here's another place where we want to go ahead and knock that shell combo over. It's like the preferred priority for taking out enemies is jump on them first, because that'll give you the most time. The shell combo is really good, and star is also really good. Taking them out with the fireball is like the least efficient way to gain time, because you only get 1 additional second for each enemy you take out. Once your time is full though, you can basically go to town with that, because it doesn't matter anymore by that point. We duck down here and get our coin situation improved a little bit. So when I'm busy jumping and hitting that block, that's a good chance to just kind of look around at the other players in the match and see where they are and what they're up to. Come on, like that first, then back up there. So that's a technique you can't pull off in the original SMB1 because the physics work differently. When you hold down the A button while bouncing off enemies in that game, you don't get the big bounce off of them. But in this game, you do. So you hold down the button, get a nice big bounce, and you can get back up into higher places that you wouldn't be able to reach easily. A little bit of pain right to the face, but once again, right next to a power-up, so not such a bad thing. It's kind of one of the late game strategies you want to take advantage of as well, because every time you are gaining a power-up or losing a power-up, the clock is stopped. So once you get into like double red time, where the timer is very rapidly approaching 0, you're going to want to stop the clock as much as you can. For the time being though, we're still in a nice early game. Oh hey, I just got a KO. So anytime a player dies because they hit one of the enemies you sent to them, you get the credit for the KO, and you get all of their remaining time and all of their coins. So that's the best way to build your stuff up. Just send out lots of really nasty enemies that the other players have a good chance of clobbering. Oh hey, Fatwee, how's it going? Just knocking out my daily challenges in the Mario 35. After I get that all taken care of, I'm gonna move on over to my NES games. Yeah, hope everything has been going well with you. It's been a while. Oop. 1-3 is not a great course to get on this. Not a whole lot of enemies, so you don't get much opportunity to build up the time. Yeah, not too bad, just doing the usual stuff. Kind of working towards getting everything ready at work for Christmas time, because, you know, we're a retail store, so we gotta get all of our Christmas stuff in to sell and stuff like that. But in between times when I'm doing work stuff, you know, I'm gonna get some video game stuff going on. Yeah, it's interesting, I'll give it that. 2-1. I feel like I got that star positioned there. I kind of call it the sad star, because it's like right next to this vine, leads up to Coin Heaven, so you don't really get to take full advantage of it. Then again, my time is pretty close to full, so it doesn't matter so much. If I'm in this level, and time isn't looking super great, I might actually skip the Coin Heaven and just go straight for taking out as many enemies as I can with that star. My coins are looking pretty good though, and my time as well, so I guess we're just gonna keep on going until this match is over. Still got 6 players left though in the match. I always like to try to take the time to send the piranha plants back, if anybody sends them to me. Because you kind of have to go out of your way to send a piranha plant in the first place, because of the timing. It's like if you're running at full tilt, right when you get to a good spot where you can actually hit them with your fireball, they start going back down into the pipe. Grab the axe there instead of killing Bowser with the fireball, because you actually get more time if you kill him by hitting the axe than you do that way, so that's the way to go. And that fast music is letting us know that we are down to 5 players remaining. Still need a bit more on the coin department though, I think. It said I needed 500 for the challenge. Ooh, Hammer Brother. Come on, Fireball, get down there. And there we go. Nice. Almost 500, but not quite. Alright, look at that combo. And a Bowser. Goombas. And Flagpole. And another castle. Oh, nice Hammer Brother placement. Be gone, Bowsers. The biggest thing I learned about this is that you kind of want to take your time, don't rush it. It's more of a strategy game than it is a speedrunning game. Looks like I only have one person that's actually has me targeted right now. Guess everybody knows what's going on and they don't want to get those Bowsers sent back to them. Okay, now the red time starts. That timer is going to start ticking down faster than it normally does. Let me grab that, because grabbing a flower when I already have a flower is 15 extra seconds. I did not actually want to go down that pipe, but that's the Pro Controller D-pad for you. Kind of does what it wants sometimes. Going to the star. Go through here. Hit all of the things. I've noticed a lot of people have problems with the springboards in this game. Makes me wonder if they're playing on TVs instead of monitors. Because when I still had the Switch hooked up to the TV, it had some really bad input delay. And back to 1-1 again. And a lot of people make the joke that this game is just 1-1 over and over again. So basically the way it works is everybody in the match picks one course, and then all of the levels that they picked get sorted by what the player's level is. So if you're really high level, your level doesn't come until close to the end of the game. You gotta play through a whole bunch of courses to get to it. Aw. Missed opportunity for a good shell combo there. It's kinda like the problem with this. But you get levels like this, and I kinda don't really identify which level they are in time to be able to take best advantage of the levels sometimes. Nice coins, and another star. And that timer is really kicking into high gear now. Oh, star ran out. Time to start dipping into those coins, I think. At least a little bit. 1-1 with 2 Bowsers. That's quite a something in there. That works. Use the POW to clear them out of the way. Star, I'll take it. Not gonna be running into underground sections anymore now. Gotta focus on that time. Okay. Someone downstairs letting me know they're heading out for a while. The timer's kind of in a sad state right now. Hoping everybody else is in a similar situation here. Yep, under 100. Let's just keep that item roulette rolling. There we go. 9 seconds left. Got the win. There's the last of the coffee. Let's switch over to the water now. 2K coins. Yep. And all 3 daily challenges knocked out from that one match. Nice. Another level up. Also nice. Oh, look at you, using my bot command. I haven't put a whole lot of stuff in it. The main thing that bot does right now is it automatically bans a certain spammer that likes to show up. So maybe we'll get to see that in action today. One thing I haven't seen yet, though, is when the floodgates really open up and you get like 20 or 30 of the spam bots all jumping in at the same time. So I have this program so that if it sees 3 of them in 60 seconds or less, it turns on followers only automatically for 5 minutes to stop the flood from going on. So in theory it works, but I haven't seen it actually happen yet, so throwing them 4-1 here for the second match. I haven't seen any Lakitus in the first match. Nothing yet. I've seen people have like channel point redemption, where you can do emote only for like 2 minutes, but I'd have to get to channel points first, you know, get to affiliate. But I think that would be a fun thing to throw in there. Oops. That's what happens when I start thinking about something else. My eyeballs end up looking through the screen instead of at the screen. But 1-1's got plenty of power-ups, so just keep on working my way through. Yeah, that's something I'll still need to figure out as well, is how to actually detect when the channel points have been redeemed. I've connected to other people's channels with the IRC, and I've looked at it to see what it looks like. And it looks like channel point redemptions don't come in as normal messages. So I'm thinking I'm going to need to get something else. Ugh, itching all of a sudden. Yeah, they got like there's a different library that you can use for connecting to Twitch, and that includes different notices that let you know when different things are going on. Because you can also use that to detect like subscriptions and followers and things like that. Oops, forgot to grab the star. Yeah, so I could actually, if I had that programmed in, make my own system for taking care of... Come on, there we go. Taking care of the notifications, and I could just dump Streamlabs entirely. Like right now, I've already switched over to using OBS Studio instead, just because there was a few things that weren't working quite right with Streamlabs. But I'm still making use of Streamlabs notifications and stuff, because you can just add a browser source, and then you put in your special URL, and then that way it puts all of the stuff into the video for you. Of course, in the actual Streamlabs software, all of that stuff is a specific widget, so you just add the widget, and it kind of takes care of the rest for you. Because like with the way it's set up right now, if you want to change your notifications, you gotta log into the website to do it. But yeah, the chat log that's in the video right now, that is my own. It's actually got the Zelda Link to the Past font running on it right now. So there's a few things about that font that are a bit quirky. There's certain symbols that are not in the font, and so it has different things for it instead. That is just a pure HTML page with JavaScript. It's using the WebSocket IRC server that Twitch has set up, and just connects to that. Getting the emotes working was kind of a bit of a pain, because if you just connect to it like IRC and not do anything else, all of the emotes only show up as text. And it's not really what we want, you know, we want the actual emotes. So it turns out what you have to do is you have to send a capability request asking the server to include tags with the messages that it sends to you. And then once you have the tags, you can look at the emotes tag, and it includes a list with all of the ID numbers of the emotes that were used in the message and the text ranges that need to be replaced. So like from characters 10 to 25, say, replace it with emote with the ID number 10,475, and then you just chop it out and you replace it with a image tag that jumps to the appropriate place. But yeah, if you want to see one of the special characters in that font, if you throw an @ sign in there, then you will get the picture of Link's face off of the wanted poster in Kakariko Village. So the # or hashtag whatever is a heart, and then star is also a heart. It's like one of them is a filled heart and the other one is an empty heart. I haven't gone through and checked all of the punctuation to see what symbols everything actually is, so... This is like basically, I guess it's just a result of all of that stuff wasn't actually included in the original game, so they just replaced it with something else. Yeah, I was kind of getting distracted here. I was looking down at the tablet that has chat running, and it is actually just sitting there not doing anything at this exact moment while the one on the stream is still going. So, let's see here. Can I tell that to refresh? Will it do it? Refresh. Ah. It's usually how this goes. Technical difficulties, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoops. Go back out. Come on. Okay. Well, you should have seen the other day, actually. So the video capture card that I'm using just suddenly decided it didn't want to work anymore. And so I was sitting on a black screen for like a good solid 2 minutes because I was trying to play the match and get that taken care of at the same time. So I had to build up a good long stock of time, and then once I had enough time that I could just stand in one place for a few minutes, I went back and went over to OBS, started there first. I was like, okay, deactivate this, reactivate it, and no, that didn't work. So basically, in order to get it back up and running again, yeah, actually I did. This is funny, because I lost like a couple minutes of time spread across multiple attempts at getting it up and running again. Yeah, it's like basically the whole process that was involved was to unplug the USB on the capture card, then plug it back in again, and then go back into OBS real quick and hit the button to deactivate the source and then reactivate it again. And then finally, after another 5 seconds of black screen, the video came back up. It's kind of weird though, because you know it would work perfectly fine for long stretches of time, and then it would just suddenly decide, nope, I'm out of here, I've had enough. Hey, there we go. I didn't even see how that other guy died. Another win. Uh-oh. Speaking of things being weird, let's switch, or switch to something that doesn't have it back on. There we go. That is the one last thing that I still wish I could get. You know, that, oh, 2,500 coins this nice. Or, coins this nice. Yeah, 2,500 coins this time, nice. Or, as I was apparently going to say, 2,500 coins this nice time. So, Mikey in second place. He's a bit higher level than I am. And we have a Japanese player in third place. Itching all of a sudden. Special going? No, no special going right now. Lifetime. 30 minutes left so far. I'll go ahead and do another match. Still want to see some Lakitus, but it's like nobody's picking 4-1 but me. I think everybody knows that they just don't want to go anywhere near 4-1 because they're fully aware of the consequences of that. Oh, we had 2 disconnects before the match started this time. You can see their tombstones over there on the right side. That is the first stage that has Lakitus in it. And of course, Lakitu is the gift that keeps on giving because he continuously throws spinies down onto everybody. So if you send a Lakitu out to all of your attackers, and then they all send him back to you again, now you've got like 4 or 5 Lakitus, you send them back, and now you got like 12, 30, you know, it multiplies extremely rapidly until you've got so much Lakitu spam going on, the entire screen gets full of nothing but Lakitus. But I would guess either the stage isn't coming up anywhere, or everybody's starting to realize that if they see 4-1 on their warp zone, they just stay full clear of it because they're fully aware of what's going to happen. Oops. Set one too many. So 3-2, you see, this is a perfect place for a shell combo. But, you know, you hit the B button to run, and that first fireball knocks out that first Koopa shell, so you can't get your combo going on there. Unfortunate situation. Actually good if I could just like start speed running the levels just to try to get to the stage I want faster. Yep. I was just about to say, hey, KO, and everything went horribly wrong with that jump. Yeah, F in chat. Hey, I had to program that into the bot too. If somebody just says an F, it replies with an F as well. I could add that real quick, actually. Oh well. I'll just keep going. Well, actually, no. You know what? We can do that real quick. Because it'll be funny. And sometimes funny is what's important. EWOM, where is the project file? I just double click on that. app.ts. Scroll down to where the good stuff is. Okay, so if uppercase, we'll do it this way. If uppercase F, uppercase F, if lowercase f, lowercase f. And I should actually probably also program something in there so that it only does it like once every 60 seconds or so, but for the time being, we'll just stick with it. Okay, so I just save that, go back over to the browser that is running it, refresh that, okay, and give that a shot. He should now reply to that. Nice. Yeah, I love that with JavaScript. It's just like so easy to add new stuff to that. Just type it on in there, refresh the page, and it's up and running. Oof. One more secret command for the time being, but this is just kind of to test and preview it. If you want to see what actually happens, this does everything except turn on the followers only mode. So if you do exclamation point spam, you'll see what happens if we get a spam bot raid on the channel. I have no idea what the copyright status would be on the Monty Python spam song, but the video that I got that from off of... That was weird. The video that I got that off of on YouTube didn't have one of those things in it where it says what the name of the song is. So presumably it's a short enough clip that I don't have to worry about it. But I could totally record myself, do a multi-track a cappella cover of that with my own voice if I have to. I figured the sound clip, though, is kind of what makes it, because if I hear that, then I'll know that it worked. Yeah, so far the only things that have been picked up on YouTube has been really stupid stuff. So there's apparently a band that recorded a cover / remix of the DuckTales Moon theme. So if you play the original NES DuckTales and you upload your gameplay footage, then it will end up being claimed because of the original version of the Moon theme. I'm like, that is so stupid. And the other thing I got hit from was actually, I was doing some Mario Maker 2 levels, and I ended up playing a SMB1 level, and I discovered that there was a band called Boogie Heights that uploaded a song to YouTube and put it in the Content ID system, and the song was literally just the SMB1 overworld music with worse instruments. And so it ended up being a copyright claim on gameplay footage. Let's see, then there was one other time where it was when I was doing a Link to the Past rando, and the overworld theme ended up being matched. It just said Zelda. Ooh, nasty blooper situation. There we go, get fire flowered back up. KO, huh? Alright. Oop. Yeah, this is the other situation that makes this bad. So, cheap cheeps are not a problem in the levels they're supposed to be in, but when you send them to non-water levels, they do that stupid maneuver. It kind of makes them a pain to deal with. Oops. Bounce that back the wrong way. Yeah, it was dumb though. When the Zelda one got flagged, on the thing, when it said what the name of the song was, it just said Zelda. And it had some record company listed. The thing with that though was, I was thinking, well, because, you know, the melody of the Zelda theme song is still pretty much the same, and you still have... actually, I do want this. So you could have a modern CD soundtrack that would have the song on it, and since it's matching by melody instead of by actual audio, could be that was how it was picking up on it. Then again, the problem with that is that Nintendo, and I got a page for this on their website, gives people permission to stream their games. So it's not really going to be them copyright claiming their own music, because they don't want people to kind of get ticked off over that. Oh yeah, you know, the other thing that was funny, actually, about the DuckTales claim is that it isn't even spelled properly, and that was how I was able to find the video on YouTube. Instead of being Duck T-A-L-E-S, it was spelled Duck T-A-I-L-S. I think it was a comment I made to everybody on Facebook when I was sharing that, and I was like, come on, if you're going to bust somebody for playing a 30-year-old game, could you at least be bothered to spell the name of it right? By searching for the misspelled version of the title, that was how I was able to find the video of the cover version of the song. And looking at the comments on that video, they've apparently been copyright claiming people for a couple of years now. So I don't expect that situation to improve anytime soon. Well, see, at least in that one, it's a decent cover, you know, like they're recording it with actual instruments, and it sounds pretty good. That's just the thing, though. There ought to be kind of a rule that if you're recording a cover of a song, then you can't put it into the Content ID system. Because I've seen firsthand that this stuff matches by melody instead of by actual audio, because it'll bust people who record their own covers of songs. Like, you get content claims from people humming or singing along with music, and it's just an irritating situation all around. See, the one other claim I got, but it was fine because it was the end of the stream, and I just trimmed it off. So I got to the end of a stream, and I was getting ready to do a raid. And I had their channel open that I was going to raid, and I was kind of watching it and commenting on it for a bit. I had the sound turned off. It was just the video. And it was on this layout, so it was not even full frame. It was just their channel in the tiny Switch portion of the screen, and they were streaming episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark for Halloween, which, right, 30-year-old, well, not 30, like 25-year-old TV show. But it got claimed as a visual match. I'm like, okay, Viacom or whoever, nobody is going to watch a 5-hour-long stream to watch a 2-minute clip of your episode with no sound and with somebody else talking over the top of it and think that that is a viable substitute for the original episode. Like, well, I don't need to watch the episode now. I've seen this low-quality clip of it. Just the system has, like, absolutely no common sense whatsoever, but I suppose it's not programmed to have common sense. But it's like everybody who does movie reviews or TV show reviews, you know, they're like constantly getting flagged for stuff. What's actually kind of stupid was I've heard of cases where... I'm going to go downstairs in a second and check on the cats. They're getting kind of noisy. There was somebody that did movie reviews, and they would go and watch the movie, and then they would sit out in their car and talk about the movie after they've watched it. So it's just a video of them in their car talking about the movie. And apparently the movie studio... It would have had to be a manual claim then, because there's no picture and no sound from the movie. It's just them talking about it. Yeah, the cats are getting louder. Probably what they were doing was they were going on YouTube and searching for the title of the movie, and assuming any video that included the title of the movie must have been somebody uploading an illegal copy of the movie and not bothering to watch the videos. Of course, manual copyright claims are a lot more malicious than content ID. Because if you go and do it by hand, that's a DMCA, and you get a copyright strike for it, instead of it just being a claim which demonetizes the video and is otherwise not that harmful. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that was the thing, is that the one with the Mario song, especially because of it being such a blatant ripoff of the song and not actually being a legitimate cover of the song, made me think that they were trying to cash in on the popularity of Mario 35 by uploading the theme song so that all the videos of people playing Mario 35 would get the claim on it and take away the monetization. You just notice my timer's not doing too great. Better hurry this up a little bit. I'm finally down to 5 players left, though. Ooh, now we're on super fast timer. Come on. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. The big fish. Yeah, knock him right off the pier into the water. So I wouldn't mind giving them the comfy chair. That was actually my Halloween costume for a couple of years, the Spanish Inquisition. Well, couldn't beat the clock that time. Alright, I'm gonna go downstairs and check on the cats real quick, because they were all crying, but I'll be right back up. I'll just switch this to... Oh, you're talking about sending the enemies back, yeah. Yeah, I mean, anything that I can defeat can go back to them. So this is Mario 1, so it doesn't have Big Bertha in it, it just has the little smaller Cheeps. But yeah, you have the bloopers, you can send them back, and they're really annoying just because they're somewhat unpredictable in the way that they move around. Yeah, I'm just gonna switch to this for a minute though. I'll be back shortly. I just need to check on all the cats and see what they were crying about. Alright, so there was no disasters going on. I think they're all just upset that I'm upstairs and they are not. But there's nothing stopping them from coming upstairs, so... yeah. See, under normal circumstances, if I hear the cats start yelling, I just shout back down to them, I'm up here! And they usually figure out they need to go upstairs after that, but... see, not quite at the 1 hour mark yet, so I think I'm going to start us up one more match here before I switch over to the NES games. Still hoping we get to see the Lactu spam at least once today. It takes some doing to set up a lobby like that, but it would be fun to actually see a lobby where all 35 players stay in the game until you get down to red time. Yeah, so what you have to do if you want to get multiple people in the same lobby is y'all need to synchronize to the clock, because it literally is just people join and they get thrown in whatever lobby is filling up at the time. I'm trying to, but with my level, my 4-1 that I pick, it goes pretty late in the queue. So we don't end up actually getting to the level before the game is finished. I haven't seen anybody else going to 4-1, so if other people are seeing 4-1, I'd guess that they're just not going to it on purpose in order to avoid the spam. So everybody plays the levels in the same order as each other, but it's basically like every player picks one level, and then the levels get sorted by the level of the player that selected it. I guess what we should be doing here is every time we're in Warp Zone, just take the stage on the far left, because that skips ahead the most levels in the queue, and that'll get us towards the end faster. Don't want to speedrun too much though, because I need to keep that time under control. Yeah, it's just funny though, all these mechanics that everybody basically just kind of had to figure out, because the game comes with like absolutely no instructions whatsoever. It's just like, okay, here's the game, play it. Now, whenever you send an enemy over, the enemy is alive again on their side. I know that was one of the fun things about... I don't remember what the name of it was. There was somebody else that made a web browser-based Mario Royale. And they got cease and desisted by Nintendo, because of course they would. But it actually had all of the players playing together on the same screen. And if you knocked a shell, you could kill other players by hitting them with that moving shell. Whereas with this version of the game, the only interaction the players have with each other is sending enemies over to each other. So all of the grayed out enemies, those are the ones that have been sent over by other players. Ooh. Gotcha. It's decent enough time. Take this shortcut here. See if we can't find or two. That is actually one of the downsides to taking the warp zone, is that, yeah, you see what the next 3 levels are after the flagpole level, but you don't know what level you would have actually gone to if you had taken the flagpole instead of taking the warp zone. Because the flagpole is like current level +1, and then the 3 warp zone pipes are like 2 levels ahead, 3 levels ahead, and 4 levels ahead. Nice star combo this time. One, 3. 1-3 is not a good level for coins or for time. A little bit of a shell combo there, but... And 1-1 again. Time's completely full, so... Get over to this shortcut pipe. Four. Yeah, that's the one with the nasty long fire bar. Well, that's kind of the reverse of the order of what I wanted to happen there. I wanted the fire bar to hit me first, and then I would grab the flower while I have the iframes. So there's another big difference from this is, in the original, if you are super and you hit a block with the power-up so the flower comes out, but then you take damage and become small, if you collect the flower, it doesn't make you fiery, it just acts like you picked up a mushroom. Whereas in this, if you touch a flower, you get a flower. 4-3. Goomba right in the face. So you need to be super careful with everything in here. I'm not sure. I know it's different from actual SMB1, because I've actually started playing regular SMB1, and there's just enough stuff that's different about this that it causes issues. One of the things that's very noticeably different is in 1-2. If I get to there again, I can show you what specifically it is that I do that works in this but does not work in actual SMB1. Ooh, wasn't expecting Bowser to be right there. Eep. No. Okay. Gotta watch out there, because taking damage cancels your jump. So if you don't pull back, you're definitely going to end up going right into the pit. Oh, that was not good. So close, but so far. Who's left in the match? Want Tyler Mosier, or Mosier, some guy, and Paul. Well, we hit the hour mark though, so that was a good run for today on the Mario 35 side. Before I switch over, let's take a look at the coin ranking. (4,980th place. This ranking pyramid though is like super generous on its S grade. Not so good on the first one, but I wasn't playing this that frequently back then, so I didn't have much opportunity to earn enough coins to climb the pyramid. So step 1, put that to sleep. Step 2, switch back to the double monitor setup. Step 3, wait for my screen to stop being blue and black. Step 4, get this controller ready to go so I don't knock the water bottle over when I pull on it. Step 5, that off, that on, and launch this. Make sure that's connected. Full screen, menu, move this back over to here, and then now I just adjust the title, change this to retro update. Look over here. Okay. And did I actually unzip? I didn't unzip it yet. Okay. So I can just drag and drop this right from here. There. Okay. And we are ready to go. Oh, need a little bit more. There we go. Turned up my sound a little bit. So it's funny. I'd like basically never randomly decide. What do we get? Yeah, story. Nobody cares. I played the original Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers back in the day, but the second one I'd kind of like never really played much of until lately. Kind of going back to back from the first game to the second game. The first game is a lot more generous with its extra lives and its health pickups, it seems. See, because I'm like checking all the boxes and they just don't have any goodies hiding inside for me. Just gotta watch out too, because we have It's basically mimics, you know, it's got boxes with enemies in them. In the first game, that was easy to deal with, because boxes would be a different color. But in this one, they blend in. Those guys, you gotta make sure to hit them when they're facing away from you, because they'll... Yep, see him? He was just hiding there. So those guys will just smack the box straight back into your face with their spoon. Gotcha. Oop. Saw that and dodged that at the last second. I need to find a PDF of the manual for this and kind of give it a read over. I'm not entirely certain what you get for collecting all these little symbols. It doesn't look like it does anything until you get to the end of the stage. Gotcha. Ooh, I just wanted to grab that box, that was all. I'm sure somebody's made maps and put them online, I should look that up. Then I would know which boxes have stuff in them. Here's one of the new abilities that the first Chip and Dale game doesn't have. If you get a running start and then throw the box, it does that instead of just going in a straight line. Over the fork, then over his face. This little segment's kind of odd. You just open the box just so that you turn the water on, and I don't know, I guess it's different, so kind of neat. Boss fights. Wait for this guy to get... Ah, he dodged it. Got him. Ooh. Box fell down just then and stunned me. This is the second game. Is that a first game code? Because we can switch over to that for a while. Pause real quick. I think that... Yep, that did save. Okay. First game. Where's the... Copy. Paste. I'll go ahead and repeat that for you. I completed a full run of this a while ago. Actually, the first time I've ever beaten the game. I actually got soft lock when I played it as a kid, because I was using the Game Genie, and I had the code on, which made it so that when you took damage, your hearts didn't go down. And there's a section in the last level where you can get stun locked, and if you can't die, then you're soft locked. because the original Game Genie didn't have a way to turn the codes off while you were in the middle of the game. Another one where I'm not sure what exactly. Ooh. Yep, that's a stuck situation right there. Wonder if you can just take it back off, or if I need to roll it back. Okay, yeah, that fixes it. Well, that's an odd situation, Hedo-ken. Whoa. Oh yeah, that's right. This is the part right here where that rat just jumps right off the top of the screen and despawns himself. Gigantic pencils. At least they didn't make it to where the pointy end of the pencil would hurt you. Okay, so you just put in a kill the boss code, huh? Oh. Forgot it's a bonus game. Okay. It's like no reason to go the long... Well, it just kills everything, huh? Okay, so everything is just dropping dead, huh? Well. Okay. Get the turn off the water portion of the level. That is kind of weird though. You turn off this tap and the water coming down from the top of the screen turns off. Got him. Ah yes, this part. Have to watch out here because you can fall in the boiling hot pots. Just slip slide around and dodge the things. Health pickup, nice. Oop. I'm not even touching the bomb, because if you hold on to it too long, it explodes. Oops. And I just fell right in the pot, so there you go. That's what happens if you fall in the pot. You die. Yeah, this video game logic. And these are little aliens that turn into clones of you when they see you. I don't know that would... I mean, maybe that might make things more difficult if you're doing multiplayer, but not really, because they just run back and forth, so it's like whoever you're playing with won't get confused. Mainly, I think it's just a reference to the episode that those aliens came from. And there's the boss. Ooh, slow-mo. Bonus game at the end of levels in Rescue Rangers 2 takes some more skill, because you gotta actually hit the 1-up with the ball, or you don't get it. But this is just open boxes as quickly as you can. Oh. Took me a moment to catch on to that. That makes things interesting. Ooh. And the jumpy guys can actually jump up the platforms there. Ah. Got him. Got him as well. Oop. Whoop. That was... Huh. That's kind of strange, actually. You notice how the hitbox works on this? It's like one way. Ah, missed him every time. Let's go over. Watch out for him again. Can't actually... Alright, just wait for him to go down in the box and then... This part here, though, go ahead and toss it, because with him out of sync, you know, it's going to cause problems. Then I could just see... okay, hit, and... under... Whoop. Yeah, we got some questionable collision detection going on right now. I think these are kind of neat, actually. See, the little rabbits are just shaking the rug. Kind of a neat non-violent thing for them to do in this game. Oh. I think that's asking me to press select. There's Japanese characters in this ROM? Huh. I would have never known that. This is kind of weird. Why would they not remove that during localization? Okay. Every time I can see out of the corner of my eye whenever you change the codes, and I'm like, has he turned off the backwards box tossing code yet or not? So I'm like expecting my box throws to go back to normal at just the wrong moment at any time. Up we go. Up. There's like a health pickup somewhere here. Or maybe not. Take the tasty. Yep. Oh. Oh. That's a spicy one. Let's see here. Maybe if I... Yeah. And doing like this. Upside down controller. Oh, actually no. Yep, it sure are, but... Yeah, actually I'm just gonna stick with the reversed controls here, because I think that pressing up to duck is worse. Oh, another boss. Ow. Call it projectile spam. See, this robot has nipple lights. Okay. I'm gonna guess that makes just as much sense for a week. Yep, they sure are. Well, not anymore. I've whacked him with the ball. See, this is... World map is just kind of curious. You have like 3 whole stages that you don't even need to go to. Now, this stage has definitely got that Mega Man feel to it. Ooh. Oh. Seems like that's how the flowers... Well, then again, I'm not sure. I haven't completely figured out whether you collect enough of these little flower things and then the 1-up starts floating in from the side of the screen. Ooh. Yeah, no, those... Ah. I can sort of handle the inverted controls until I need to rapidly switch directions. That's when it becomes tricky. Oh, this section. I actually kind of don't know how to handle this yeah, I don't think that's gonna work here. Luckily, Yeah, no, I can't even get a jump off on that. Fortunately, though, we have the rollback, so... Well, let's look at this first before rolling back. Yep. No, you can't even jump off of it when it's doing that. Well, we'll just use the rollback here. The best thing I figured out about this section is you just straight up don't want to pick up any of the boxes because you need them to stand on. Oh, uh-oh. Oh no. Hurt. I saw move back one. Can we... Yes? No? Oh boy. Yep, that's Soft Lock City right there. Do they have anything on the list that can help with this situation? Actually, put the other one on again real quick. I'm going to fall through the floor and then pause immediately after I die. And that'll get us unstuck, I think. Okay. Now we just nuke that one, and we should be good to go. Okay, whoop. The timing in this section is not great. Auto grab is not what I need right now. Wait for it. Make the jump. Up. And one more. Yes. Okay. See, this section is like a boss in its own. So they're just like, yep, don't need... Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is funny, you know, some of these levels just don't give you bosses. Oop. Oh, looks like they just want to go up there and not even bother me. Down. Clobber him right in his face. Oop. Yeah, so auto grab. Yep, he just... secret one-ups, huh? Yeah, so the auto grab works just from the side, not from the top. Ooh. Gotta watch out, or the killer circles will get me. Ooh. I mean, look at that. This is... You have to put code on there or something, because this is way too generous on the one-ups. Here we have a pickup that won't actually pick up. Oop. Oh. Yeah. No problem there. My health is already full, but not having the... Oh, he bounced off of the... Another extra life. Yeah, look at that, 10 extra lives. That's crazy. I've already learned my lesson on this section before. Do not be tempted by all the shinies down there. Just stay up at the top. Ooh, that knockback just then saved me. See if I... Extra life. Now I'd like to move this over here. There we go. Whoop. Okay, you can... Yeah. One of those... Oh no, the boss can only shoot in like 8 directions situations. Huh. Extra life in from the side. Yeah. Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle. So this part gets you all excited. You think, all right, we're going up into outer space. Oh, wait, nope, no, we're not. We're just using it as a jank form of transportation. That would have been cool to have some space levels. Of course, then again, having the moon stage already in DuckTales, if you had another moon stage in this game, that would have just felt repetitive. Flying ninja squirrels. Up. Keep the last box, because we don't know what's coming up down here. Oop. I think one of these actually... Oh, maybe not. Might have already missed a section where I wanted to bring one of those with me. Oh hey, it's the little transforming alien guys again. Collect shinies. Oop. Oh. I was thinking I had to make that jump, but you can actually land down there. It's weird, because like everything in this acts as a semi-solid, you know, you can jump up through it, but this does also have the ability to fall down through it by holding down and hitting jump. Except for the cases when it doesn't. There's like places where you have platforms that you cannot fall through. Also, I'm going to show you when we get to the last stage, a place where the platform behaves in a very odd manner. It's like a conveyor belt. I wonder how many bonus lives you get on this if you're actually playing with 2 players and you can collect all of the boxes. I see this thing hiding down here. Ah, but you can't actually hit him until he stops Hiding, yeah. It makes sense in the... I guess I didn't go to the other level that that guy first appeared in. Oop. Yeah, you gotta do the duck throw on the pelicans so you hit them in their legs so they don't swallow the box and spit it back at you. Oh, now it's Airman's stage. Oh. Whoop. Enemies bouncing off of boxes is making it kind of unpredictable. Oh. Yep. Yeah, the reverse controls is actually making this weird. Okay, so the fan pushes me that way. I press right. I move fast to the left. Oh, no, I think it's a side effect of the inverted controls. Alright, so there, we actually just want to use the fan car advantage. Oop. Yeah. I didn't get this, it's right. Come on, land on the... Ooh, okay, I gotta make sure to hit that one with the crate. So that just kind of tells me that it's not real physics at all. Clobber you right in your legs. Okay. Whoop. And for this one, whoops. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Ah. Yeah, the fast speed from that is... Oh, okay. Yeah. It's got like fast speed from 2 different sources now. Well, okay, yeah, that improves the situation there greatly if I can just not mess up the jump afterwards. Okay. Land on it. Clobber him. Slowly. Gotcha. Give him the cheese so he can make the pull for us. And these are some really weird looking desk lamps. See, so if I see this bottom part first, I kind of think, what is that, a rotary telephone? But then we walk over here and we have a regular touch tone telephone. So I'm like, nope, it's just a goofy desk lamp. Ooh, gotta go fast, gotta go fast. Ooh. Oh. Normal controls now, huh? Ah. Oh, yeah. Keeping an eye on where the body parts are going on this to dodge them. Okay. Safe zone right there. Okay, yeah. So, whoops. Oh, crazy jump. Gotta, actually, maybe I better stay over here because it seems Yeah, there's like no physics on this. It's just pre-programmed. It looks like the path where the body parts go. There we go. Well, here we go. Last stage. Stage has fantastic music. Well, interesting. Okay, so here's the weird part. So, on these conveyor belts, you have to be moving, or you have to be holding left or right at the same time as you hit down and A. If you just hold down and A, you do not fall down through the conveyor belt. Uh-oh. That didn't cooperate that time. It's funny that the tops of these things have collision, because I don't think there's any way whatsoever that you can land on top of that without codes. This time I want to know what's in this crate. Just a health pickup, but my health's already full, so... See, and there's another two health pickups on this. The game is just so generous with its health pickups. Oh boy. That makes that easier. Figured out this last time. You just stand next to these boxes and just let those two guys jump right over the top of you. Throwing their hats at me like they think they're Odd Job or something. Alright, here's the section where I soft lock when I played the game as a kid, because I had infinite health on. So if you end up walking into those axes, you just continuously take damage, take damage, take damage, take damage, but you don't actually die. So it's a soft lock. I know in this section that we have guys coming along. Oh, okay. I just run face first into things and kill them now, huh? Okay, then. Does that work on the boss? Uh-oh. Well. Yep, it doesn't look like we're beating the game at the moment. Yeah. That's a thing, alright. Like, despawned his face and there's nothing to kill, so... Alrighty then, don't do that. Roll back, we'll try this section again. Yeah. Oh, we still have the invulnerability here, huh? Okay then. Jumping so fast the screen scrolling can't even keep up with it. Actually, just run straight through this unless you kill the code. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the ball. Kill him as quick as I can. There we go. Not the greatest ending, but not terrible either. Thank you, even though that was easy because you didn't kill the invulnerability code in time. That was my strat. Run into him and throw the ball as quickly as I could to get as many hits on him before I was expecting that code to disappear at any moment. That's some good chip tone. Let's see, what do we want to jump to next? A lot of titles in here I don't even recognize. Yeah. And I still got the Mario 35 juices in me from earlier. So I'll see what this feels like. Yep, and there's that limp bounce off of enemies. Oh. So 35 changed it, so if you're holding down the button when you bounce off a enemies, you get a higher bounce. Original didn't have that. It's funny, it actually feels weird to be playing just ordinary Mario 1 after playing 35. Also something you don't see in 35, because it just drops you straight into the main part of the level. I found one place where it seems like there's a mushroom in 35 that is not there in the original game, which is kind of weird. I did find out, though, that this pipe still has just as much high suction as it does in 35. If you have momentum, you'll go into the pipe. Okay, so here's the place where the physics seem to be different. If I come up this pipe and run and land there, it seems like I can't actually pull off the jump. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I think we'll just play through all the levels. Or until I get tired of this. Dee-dee-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo. You know, the physics on the moving platforms feels different. Yes, this castle is absolutely not supposed to have any enemies in it until you get to Bowser. Don't even get any thank you Marios in Mario 35. Grab the axe, stage ends, and you get dumped into the next one. So there's that. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, right here, the 1-up is actually missing. Which actually makes this even stranger, because it's like, why is this coin block here if it's not there to boost you up to get the 1-up mushroom? Don't hit that, because we want that. I already know that the path up to, or the vine up to Coin Heaven is right there. I should do a Google search and see if anybody has already made a page that talks about places where the levels are different in this than they are in 35. Yep, and then right here where it dumps you back out, Coin Heaven. Yee. Look at this horrible power-up block. Trying to hit that is Big Mario. It's a huge pain. That coin block's still there, though. Just in case you absolutely cannot get that bounce off of the spring. That was an unfortunate level to enter without a fire flower. And since this isn't 35, I can't roll for one. Slip underneath them. Funny though, the natural palette on the gray cheeps here makes them look like they're enemies sent over from other players. Above ground, cheeps. Actually, that's what I ought to do, is load up Mario 35, put it in the practice mode, and just go to 1, 2, see whether or not the jump works to clip into the wall that would take you to Minus World. So since they reprogrammed the physics from scratch for that, I would imagine that the bug is not present. I've actually never tried that to see if it works in Super Mario All-Stars. Ah. Bowser, why you gotta come in here and smear butter all over these platforms, make them slippery? Or maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe Bowser was eating some lobster or something and he came stomping through here. And he had his little tub of melted butter for dipping it in. And he just spilled it all over the floor. Stupid clipping Bowser. Get me right through the bottom of the platform. That would have been great if the timing on that shell clobbered that paratrooper while it was on the ground. Doo-doo-doo. Ah, yes, the... So this bonus room is nice, because you get a power-up in it, but collecting the coins is terrible. I said everything else is still in the same place. I just don't get why that mushroom is not in 2-1. It's weird, all the Mario 35 instincts are still kicking in full effect. Oops. Once again, I missed out on the shell combo. Because I was like, oh wait, this is the stage where I should be doing that. Aw. I wonder how many opportunities there even are in this game to get a... So you don't get it from shell combos in this, so I don't know how you would get an 8-jump combo in the original game to even get a 1-up. Ah, yes, another one of these stages. Gonna take my time and not mess up any of the jumps. Another one of those levels where if you're playing on a modern TV, that is to say, CRT, never had any problems with that because there was no input delay. Modern TVs, you can totally end up just slipping right off the edge of the platform because you hit jump, but the game is already in the future from what you're seeing. So you just slippy slide right off the side. Okay. Just wait for the timing on that one. This is so different without enemy spam pouring in from all over the place. Backwards fire bar. Okay, Bowser, ready for your dip. Bowser's okay, that's just spaghetti sauce. I'll just gobble it all up and come back for the next castle heavier than ever. And here I finally get to see 4-1. Doesn't matter though. I kept putting 4-1 in when I was doing my Mario 35 earlier, but it never came up, so I never got to get the insane Lakitu spam going on. I don't know if anybody even saw 4-1 during my games. If they did, they might have just been intentionally avoiding it because they knew perfectly good and well what would happen if they started sending the Lakitus out. But I like getting all aboard the Garbage Express every once in a while. Of course, sending out Hammer Brothers in Mario 35 is also really fun as well. Because the player you're sending them to has run out of coins and they lose their power-up. Then the window for them to get past them is just extremely tight and all RNG based. This is actually a course I'm not even used to completing without taking the warp zone. Just because I'm up to like 25 years of muscle memory now telling me to just go up to the warp zone and skip straight to 8-1. Gotta watch out here as well too, because I don't want to end up on the warp zone to 5-1. Just stay on the bottom, nice and comfy. Just wait for that. Take the timing here. It's not fun once you get into the beetles, because that's when everything starts getting interesting, you know. Your fireballs just bounce off of them, so... Good old 4-3. Just gonna wait for that. Then get up there and clobber them. I've got this jump, so you gotta make sure it's a running jump, because if you just block it, you ain't gonna make the jump. Boop. And kerplunk. Yeah, the above ground mushroom levels, just in Mario 35, aren't super great. You don't get a whole lot of coins. There's not too many enemies, so you can't really regain a whole lot of time either. Okay, then we're at the first maze castle. So do top path. Then the second part, slippy slide around the corner here, and take the bottom path. And then notice the fire bar isn't lined up at last possible second and plunge face first into it. Time for your dip in the spaghetti sauce, Bowser. Princess is in another castle, indeed. This time we're gonna get that shell combo going on. Keeping my eyes on the right side of the screen there, though, because I knew that pipe was coming. Oop. I would totally have rolled the item roulette for another fire flower had I been in 35 right now. I feel like there was something there in 35. Yeah, that's weird. So, like, there's a 1-up mushroom right at the start of 2-1. It's in 35, but it looks like it's completely missing from the original game. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Kind of weird. 5, 2. Oh boy. Alright, get up in his business and wait for... Okay. Ah. Yeah, Hammer Brothers are definitely tricky to deal with if you don't have your firepower. Can we at least have a... Oh, come on. At least have a mushroom and these unmarked bricks right here. Wait for him to get out of the way this time. Yeah, we got that right there. Yeah, this is nice long pauses, but, well, I guess we're just gonna have to tank the hit and lose the mushroom there. But I know he's not the only Hammer Brother. Ah. Turned around, tried to run the other way. Couldn't quite get out of hammer range there. That's kind of the best strat for this, is to just not lose your power up before this section. Hey, how about that? Nice. Alrighty, work our way forward to Hammer Brother the second. Wait for his gap. Not quite what I wanted to happen. Just let him get up there and boop him from the other side. Is this... no? Here? No? Whole lot of nothing here. Can't get on top of that. Alright. Take the bottom path. Ooh. Slipping around in dud. Whoa. Alright, I need to get in here. Good opportunity. Gotcha. Now it's your turn. Come on down. There we go. Star power this time. Good. I want to go ahead and grab that. And just plow face first through the enemies while I got the invulnerability. Come on. Need that Koopa to get right in fireball range. Five 3, aka 1-3, but with more BS. We got the smaller platforms going on, as well as the bullet bill situation. Slipping in and out. And grab that flagpole. Next castle. Look at that big boy fire bar. Good old slow down. It's like the collision doesn't quite want to cooperate in that section to go over the top there. Whew. Uncooperative Bowser coming right for my face. Oh, that's tricky to deal with. Just do the elevator transfer here. Get back down on the ground level. Ooh. Bad potable timing. Looks like that is a tricky power-up to actually get and hold on to. Probably have to wait for the timing on the big boy fire bar before even heading into that section. Get the feeling though that doing the wraparound and grabbing the power up. I was thinking fire flower, but in this case it's not a fire flower, it's just a mushroom. But yeah, wrap around there, grab that mushroom, and then jump over the top of the fire bar when it comes back around. Alright, we just go for it, straight over the top, grab the axe, give Bowser his dip. Maybe it's cherry Kool-Aid this time around instead of marinara sauce. Ah, and 6-1's another tasty Lakitu level. Oop. Kind of interesting because the course starts to be a little bit less flat. Yeah, we'll wait for Lakitu to come on by and boop him. Isn't there one up here in Mario 35 as well? Nothing at all in any of that. Interesting. Oop. Wait for the junk to clear out of the way. Yeah, we got flour. Can't actually reach you from down here. Oh. Hang on, that was not quite right. Oh, got the end of the course. Slippy slide on down the flagpole. Six, 2. Something? Anything? 10 coin block. It definitely changed stuff for 35. look on Game Facts of all places to see if anybody's made something talking about the differences in the levels. It's a little bit trickier to get by here without the changed jump physics that 35 has. Looks like I just bounced off the top of that beetle. Up and over, into the pipe. Got anything back here? No, I guess not. Alright, up. Actually, I need to be checking this stuff. Got anything here? See, everything's better when the power-ups are in question mark blocks instead of in bricks. Probably have hidden blocks hiding in a few more places as well. It's that kind of funny, that pipe right in the middle there, just kind of substituting for the bricks. Ah, 6-3. And the spring is different. Okay. It's great to throw this one in as your course in Mario 35, because it's like a meat grinder. People drop like flies. It's not too terrible of a course, but those springboards will absolutely end you if you can't pull them off. So that's why I figure a lot of the people who get knocked out by this one are probably playing on TVs, so they have input delay. And unfortunately this doesn't work like it does in Mario 35. Grab the flower small, just makes me large again. Ow. Sneaky Bowser. Push me back into the Podobo. See, so this is around the time where it's like this is just 1-4, but now you got Hammer Bowser. Probably a few other differences as well, but 1-4 was quite a few courses ago, so my memory of what I've already seen is not going to be in the memory stack anymore. Alright, we're just going to tank that. Give Bowser his bath in the... I guess spaghetti sauce again this time. I gotta go and look up a list of other red liquids so I could have spaghetti sauce and cherry Kool-Aid and all sorts of other things that Bowser can be taking his baths in. Probably don't even want to mess with that. I imagine those are all just coins. Ooh. Is he gonna fire for me? No, I guess that's within the range to prevent it from firing. I don't know exactly how many blocks of range that has. Bad timing on that Hammer Brothers jumps. This is one of the nasty Hammer Brother battle arenas. Doesn't have a mushroom hiding for me in those bricks. Ooh. Alright, I just need to slip right on in there. Got you. Aw, he jumped all the way down. Well, that was a convenient place for that, though, because we can A button, start, and get right back into it. So this time, though, because I'm still curious, so coin, not worth it. Yeah, all coins. I'll just have to remember that for future reference. 10 coin block here. I need to remember that for Mario 35. Gonna wait this time. Make sure he... Okay. And we got absolutely nothing anywhere here. Nope, looks like there's a whole lot of nothing. Alright, so step 1. Slip in here. There we go. And a quick check to make sure we don't have any goodies hiding from... Oh! Bad bullet timing. Naughty, filthy bullet timing. Yeah, I'm just gonna nope on past that. Slippy slide on down the flagpole. Seven two. Could be another underwater stage, yeah? Yep. Can we try to spam my way past this one then, if possible? I know I'm gonna have a couple places where I gotta dip down, like right here. Yep, and another one of these with the little U-shaped arrangement of coins. Whoop. Nasty blooper. Now this is one of those sections where the blooper is not going to cooperate, so it's really best to come in here with the fire power up. We're gonna make do with what we got here. Ah, good. Apparently the level actually has a checkpoint though, so that works out just fine. Ah, another Cheap Bridge. Changes the dynamic of this stage quite a bit when you only have to worry about the level hazards and not the stuff coming in from other players at the same time. I think I'm actually going to... How much time do I have? Well, 10 minutes. Yeah, let's just run through and actually use warp zones this time, just to see what happens. Give myself some time to get some, technically breakfast, because I haven't eaten anything yet today. Whoop. Come on, Mario. Get in the pipe. Suppose I don't miss the little cutscenes in Mario 35. You don't end up being taken out of the action for quite so long. Actually, we can just do one of these numbers. Let's go up here, break the ceiling open, and get an early ceiling. And actually, just because why not, let's see if we can pull this off. Sometimes I'll come in here and nail this on the first attempt, and other times I'll run the timer all the way down and not pull this off even once. It's pretty tricky, because you gotta land just at the right spot on the seam in between the two tiles. There we go. But we're not actually minus whirling right now, we are -1-ing. It's a real feels bad man moment though to know that this is single player, so I can't send all these Lakitus and Spinies to a new home. And then this time, in 4-2, we're actually going for the vine. I've never tried to get the wrong warp on this, but I don't exactly speedrun stuff, I just kinda... more like... quick jog, I guess, if I am playing in a faster mode than normal. And to World 8 we go. Send our little hard-shelled friend along. That Koopa falls in the hole. So all three of the World 8 courses leading up to the castle I need to study for like power-up placements and things, if there are even any. Notice at one place in 8.3 where you can see the brick. I don't remember if that's just coins or if it's actually a power-up. For the matter, since they've already been changing stuff, it could be completely different from the original game to Mario 35 as well. Give that thing all the boops. Ah, that's tasty. A nice tasty star hiding in that one. You don't usually see this course because people just don't go picking it on purpose. Everybody's favorite jump. In this part where work my way up and then work my way back down the flagpole. What's this I see? Has OBS decided to be naughty? Let's get some of that net limiter going on so I can see what this looks like. Well, everything seems to be in order here except for you. What are you doing? Epic Games Launcher is being naughty and sucking up all of the download bandwidth. What are you doing? You are updating. What are you updating? Just says updating, it's not saying what it's actually updating. Whatever it... Wait, okay. Totally reliable delivery service. I haven't even played that. I just downloaded it and installed it because it was one of the free games of the week on the Epic Store. But this is at 113 megabytes of 153 megabytes. So it won't be too much longer before that is finished. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it do its thing. 29, 30, 31, 32. See, it's pretty quick. Still, though, it didn't need to start downloading stuff when I was in the middle of using the internet connection. Like, if my monitor is turned off, that's a good time for all of the things to start downloading updates, not when I am right in the middle of something. Come on. You can do it. There we go. And we have green light again in OBS. So, time for 8-2. Actually, I don't know if you can hear that. I certainly can. It actually sounds like it is time for some food, but I want to take a little look at this course first. Just a one-up mushroom, huh? So not only did I not gain an extra life, I actually lost a whole life on that endeavor. Oh, poor stupid green Koopas that don't turn around. They just walk right down pits. Ooh. He was going the other direction, and then he turned around. Do we have anything in either one of these? Nope. And that's a Speedy Boy cannon right there. Very Speedy Boy cannons. Anything in here? Mushroom. Nice to see a mushroom. Just gotta watch out for... Watch out for stuff like that. I actually would not mind jump didn't go off there. I was going to say I would not mind a ROM hack for Mario 1 to kind of replace it with the physics from Mario 35. Hello there, Oswald. I was just playing some video games today. You know, started out with some Mario 35 and then going through and doing some 8-bit stuff. I'm actually coming up on just about time to finish. Go get me something to eat. But if you would actually like to take a look at this for a moment, I can explain a little bit about what I have set up in this emulator. Actually probably have that kicking around here. Let me locate it real quick. Yeah, I know it's got some amazing graphical effects. I've seen people talking about it. Let me just flip back over to this here. Yeah, I got a few funny little quirks though in this emulator. I have some custom chat commands so that people can actually change my game to any of those games that are in that menu over there. And it actually remembers where I am, so if people switch me back and forth between different games, then I have to kind of try to keep playing them without losing, basically. I also have 3 Game Genie code slots at the top there where people can actually, either from the original code book or from Google search results, they can plug Game Genie codes in and change them on me at any time while I'm playing. Zelda 1 rando? I've actually not tried any of that yet. I do Link to the Past randomizer quite a bit. Yeah. I would have to do some studying first of Zelda 1 before doing a rando on that. You know, learn where all the burnable bushes are, all the bombable spots, things like that. But yeah, here we go. We got this game loaded up. I'll take a look at it for a bit. Nice chip tune. Yeah, I don't care about story. Let's just get straight to... Yeah, not a problem. So we can't skip the story, huh? I just like some gameplay today. Guess I'll start right here. Yeah. Okay, so we got charge up shot. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. Looks like I need to tweak my mapper code slightly. The timing on that IRQ isn't quite right. Yeah, it's tricky stuff writing the code for IRQs, but that's how you get the split screen effects. They just program it to interrupt the code right in the middle of rendering. Down real quick at the bottom. Yeah, I got my chat set up on a tablet right down here, just underneath where you're seeing, so gotta pay attention to the game. Ah, so I see. Yeah, that's just a problem with the emulation. So let me take a look here. Do we have accurate timing? Yeah, because this is actually a custom emulator, so I can have all of my extra stuff programmed into it, like the game menu and the Game Genie code selection and all of that. So it's just not quite as accurate as other emulators. Most stuff works properly, but stuff like this requires very precise timing. And if you're not quite right when you're doing split screen code like this, then it ends up causing stuff like that. Yeah, first thing I need to do though is just kind of see which mapper this game was programmed with, and then once I know that, I can go into the code for that specific mapper and take a look at the IRQ functions, get them all straightened up and whipped into shape. What I might also do though as well is, since I have Lua scripting working properly in BizHawk, is I might actually just switch to that, because it also has support for adding and removing Game Genie codes through Lua. Oh, this one doesn't fall, huh? Alright, so I can just use it instead, and then everything will be all nice and accurate. Aw, missed a jump there. But yeah, there was so many different techniques that programmers could use to add split-screen scrolling to games. Some of the most basic ones, and the one that's used in SMB1 is called sprite zero hits. So the very first sprite... Oh, that's interesting. The very first sprite actually has hardware collision detection on it. So if any pixel in sprite 0 overlaps with a background pixel, it sets a flag that the CPU can read. So what they do is they, right where the coin is, up in the top, it actually... that's actually sprite 0. So when that hits the background pixel right there, it switches from the status bar to being the main part of the game graphics. Whereas other games, they actually include IRQ hardware specifically, so they can say when the rendering of the screen gets to line, say like 200 or so, then they can split the screen and take care of the scrolling that way. One up down there. I'm gonna guess that. Yeah. Oops. Can't quite make that jump though, because I don't have the power up for that. At least I got the one up though. We'll see if it comes back. I can try for it again. Yeah, I like the graphics and the sound on this. Oop, up and over. Yeah, no, one up doesn't come back, so you only get one shot at that. Oop. Okay, so don't jump from the top of the screen there. I didn't quite make the jump that time. Yeah, I'm going to come back to this one though, I think, and try it some more as well. I'm also still working on clearing Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2. Finished the first one, but the second one, still working on it. First game is like super generous in where the life pickups as well as one-ups. The second game seems a lot more difficult in that aspect. Okay, so why did I not make this the first time? Whoop. Got. Oh, you're supposed to go back and forth, huh? Well, that is game over for now, but I'll come back to this at a later date. Right now, though, it is time to go get me some food. So, as I always like to say to everybody, thank you for watching. And if you're watching the video, thank you for watching the video. Oh, that's a cool effect. Yeah. I'd like to put it on this today. Oh, I don't have the camera on this one. Dub. Well, let me just put it up real quick. Is it going to do it? Is it going to do it? There we go. Sounds. And of course it doesn't want to do this right. One to end. Okay. Nope, that is the wrong device. We want microphone as default device. There we go. So, thank you all for watching, and if you are watching the video, thank you for watching the video. Until next time, later.